Hello and welcome to the Unverified podcast. I'm your boy, Simba aka Swizzy, and I'm joined, as usual, by three of my lovely boys. Today we've got Connor aka Conflict Strat on the microphone.
Howdy, folks.
Howdy indeed, partner. And we got Isaac aka Mechna Gamer sitting in with us today.
Milady.
You say milady?
Yeah.
Who you talk to, boy?
But last but certainly not least, we have Tamago2474, also known as Simi. I said that the wrong way around, but we keep talking.
It's all good. It's all good. What's up? What's up? You know what I find interesting, actually? All the intros, you refer to us as your lovely boys, and it makes me feel like I'm your son.
I'm your son. Out of 10, what would you guys rate me as a dad?
If I were just to guess, like if I were legit just to guess, maybe a 4.
4. That's probably fair.
I mean, I'll give you like a 5.5, just slightly above average.
I don't know am I an above average father? I
mean, Simba, I consider like the average father terrible, so possibly.
Yeah,
okay.
Wow, Isaac coming out the gate swinging. Interesting.
I mean, I do agree with Isaac. I have to presume that the average father is pretty down there. But I'm just gonna play it safe and boring and hit you with a 5.
I'm an average dad, guys. Interesting.
Mm.
I hope I'm not actually an average father, because I don't need that stress in my life right now. But how have you boys been?
Been good. You know, it's always we record these podcasts like every 2 weeks or whatever, and the time always flies so quickly because you hit us up, it's like time to record, and I'm like, didn't we just post? Oh crap! Wait a minute, that was a whole almost 2 weeks ago. So. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much doing exactly how I was doing last podcast.
Same.
Genuinely, even for me, when I'm sending messages, I'm like thinking, wait, oh my god, we need to record another one?
Yeah.
Maybe we should just make it once a month so it doesn't sneak up on us.
Yeah. You heard it here first, guys. We're reducing the content. Let's go.
And while we're at it, we may as well only make it 10 minutes to, fit that YouTube algorithm. So you're getting double less content.
Oh, 10 minutes. Well, guys, I guess the podcast is nearly up, right?
Wow. Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good episode.
Closing statements?
See you next month, people.
Closing statement. Have I improved as a dad over the last 5 minutes of the podcast?
You've been worse somehow.
What?
You've gone down by 0.1. Sorry.
No, to be fair, you have employed listening skills. So it won't increase your level from a 4 just yet, but it's a high 4.
Actually, no, Simi, I'm going to have to half disagree with you right there just because I don't think the average dad has good listening skills, so 5.6, you've gone up by 0.1.
Wait, does that mean on average I've gone up? Hell yeah, I'm a better dad than I was 5 minutes ago. Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah, baby. Well, my boys, I wanted to ask you a very important father-son question.
Yes, Papa.
For generation, fathers and sons have sat by the campfire and talked this tale for hours on end. I need to know, as my boy, what?
Oh, I thought that was the conversation you were talking about. Never mind. I got it wrong.
No.
I mean, there's a correct answer and the's a wrong answer. So
there is a correct answer for sure. Yeah, but we're not
delving into that.
No. Anyway, the question I did want to ask you, my boys, as my boys, of course, I need to be able to know in a do or die situation, if my life was at risk, I need to know which animal you guys think you could take on in a fight.
Like the most dangerous animal that we think we could take on, because I could take on a freaking, I don't know, rat.
Could you? And
yeah.
You think you could take on a New York rat and win?
I could take on a New York rat, dude.
I could probably do a T-Rex, I think.
Oh my god.
T-Rex.
Oh my god. Explain.
It's a game. It's just a game of dexterity, man, and it will lose.
How will you pull that off?
I bet it doesn't even have to turn in circle to get me, bro.
It doesn't need to turn in circle,
bro. It might accidentally stand on me. That could be a problem.
Well, can I provide you a really good analogy here? 18-wheeler semi-truck doesn't have a very good turning circle. All it needs is one good hit, and I've lost the fight.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the case with most things, right? But just don't get hit. That's what I'm saying. It's a game of dexterity. It's not going to grab you because it can't grab you.
What if it kicks you?
Well, then, yeah, if it kicks me, that's game over. But, like, I'll just cheat. You know, like, when it's like, this gigantic boss, and they just keep running, like, they're just basically dodging out of the way over and over and over. Yeah, I'm just going to do that, but with the T-Rex. You might die.
Connor, second question vote. We've been in a year of lockdown now. Are you really sure you're fit enough to continuously do that, to tire it out before you get tired out?
Well, if I'm going out into the forest under the parameters of this test, I guess I assume that I would probably be a bit fitter before I went. I'm not gonna lie. Right now.
Wait, what?
No,
What?
so
Why?
much.
Why would you be fitter? Me and my boy. We
Why
just
the hell
went
would
to
I
the
agree
forest.
to just randomly
'Cause
go out to the forest?
Well, on a
What if I
father-son
get
trip.
attacked by a dinosaur? This is the
Well, it's
reason
a father-son trip. Me and my boy going to the forest. We're gonna talk it out. Discuss ass or tits, which
Took
is
me
better.
to the
and-
freaking forest to talk it out. What are you trying to do to me, bro? You know what? Your fatherhood rating went to 3.
Why are you guys making this so sinister? I just want to chat with my boys.
In the forest.
In a secluded forest.
In the forest with dinosaurs.
with dinosaurs.
I didn't add the dinosaurs. That's not me. That was not.
Yeah, bro. No, I don't know how you think you're fighting a dinosaur, bro.
Yeah, I'm disowning Connor, bro. Get out of here.
You're disowning.
I don't think you can fix the cups to T-Rex at the very least. I don't think you specifically, I don't think you can. I don't think I can. Don't
Anybody,
get me
bro.
wrong.
Anybody.
I could do.
Simi, there are some wild people out there who might be able to. Like, there are some wild people out there who might be able to.
Yeah, I'm with Isaac. Yeah, I'm sure. I think there's somebody who could take it. I just don't think that somebody is Connor.
Wow.
Yeah, well, Connor's disowned, and I'm sure my life is definitely in danger.
Wow.
Is anybody else got an animal that they think they can realistically take on?
See, my logic behind it is that if it can't one-shot me, then I at least have a decent chance against it. So, like, something like a monkey or a wolf, basically. And that sounds wild in my opinion already. Like, that's the thing. Monkeys are scary, and they're freaking hench if you actually see them, like,
Yeah,
without their
bro.
fur.
They're
However,
just
all those
muscle.
muscles, but, however, all those muscles, those are climbing muscles. Those ain't punching muscles. Those ain't hands muscles. Like, they can't throw for shit. They can't throw a punch. So, I feel like I could take that.
Like, how are you going to be tracking it around? I've seen you play first-person shooters. I know that's not in your repertoire.
Bro. I feel called out.
I feel like I wouldn't necessarily need to track it all the time. It's like, if you're trying to kill a fly or something, like, which are really fast, you don't, track it all the time. You track it in specific moments, for example.
Yeah, but I've never tried to punch a fly.
You
usually try to swat it with something.
Simba, you never punched a fly. Oh, weakling. Weakling. You're not my dad. I disown you. You haven't punched
Oh my dad.
You're not my dad.
I don't think that makes me
my
weak. I think that
God.
means I'm efficient. Why would I try and kill a fly by punching it?
It's just to prove that you can. You've never done it. I'm ashamed of you.
You punched a fly?
Yes. Actually,
I don't
yes.
think I've physically seen him do it, but I can imagine it very easily. To punch his own maths teacher, for goodness sake.
Oh my gosh, Simi.
We won't go into it, but he did.
It
That's
was
true.
an accident.
Don't worry, we won't go into it. But yeah, he has
It wasn't
homicidal
an accident.
tendencies.
I love what Simi's done there, where he's now giving you no point in which you can defend yourself.
It was an accident.
Wait, so Simba, you answer the question then. What are you taking on?
What can I take on? Oh shit, what could I take on in a fight? What's the biggest animal I could take on in a fight? I could take a fox, but I don't think I could take a New York rat.
No.
Yeah.
The thing is, I feel like I could stand a chance against a T-Rex, but I'm scared of like monkeys and apes and shit. Like those things are just brutally savage.
Do you think you could take a New York rat?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I could.
I could take a London rat.
But London
Yeah,
rats
bro,
easy.
they're not
London
trained
rats
in
easy.
subterfuge like the New York rats are. They spend all their time underground, man.
Yeah, for real. New London pigeon though. That's higher on the tier list.
Nah, bro.
No, see, Simba, if it was like 10, 20 years ago, I could take one. But now they've gotten
Yeah.
so brave.
That's what I was
they're too
gonna
strong
say.
now, bruh.
Pigeons in London have no fear. Before, when I was a little kid, when I'm 5 years old, I'd step up to one, do the little stomp. They all run away. They all fly away, scared. Now, when I'm like going jogging, I'll jog right next to one, and it's like I was walking there. excuse me. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, bro.
Bro, this man's talking about jogging. I remember I was driving, and we were driving with my cousin, and we were like trying to go through the road, and we're like, it just stopped in the road. It did not move. We were revving the engine. We were moving forward. It was like, nah, I'm staying.
Simba, I was about to say, I've literally seen a London pigeon step to a double-decker bus. Like, literally, it was just on the road. It was food on the road or something, basically. The bus was coming to stop, and then the pigeon was just there. The bus went over the pigeon, so, like, the pigeon was underneath, like, at the underneath of the bus. The pigeon just chilled there until the bus left. It was just there, like, this is my ends. I ain't moving.
They're breeding out weakness.
So either they're brave or they have lost the will to live.
I think the biggest thing they've learned to call our bluff, because obviously, like evolutionarily, if you saw big monkey man chasing you, you're like, this is me today. That's it for me. It's been a good one. End. But now it's like, little monkey man stomped his foot. That's nothing, bro. I'm cool. He ain't gonna do nothing. That's why you gotta keep them on their toes and you just grab it. You just grab it. You just like grab it and look it in the eyes. You look it in the eyes and be like, tell the rest. You drop it.
Tell the rest.
That's cool.
Well, so Simi, were you saying that you're the most powerful animal you can take down is a New York rat?
Not the most powerful animal. I feel like what you said about fox is pretty good. I was thinking a camel, but I feel like that's misplaced, honestly.
Camel.
Bro, a camel's actually strong.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just think maybe I could just sock it real good in the eye or something like that.
Camels, horses, and zebras, if they kick you once, you are dead. Like,
you're out.
That's just game, so I wouldn't even try that one. Like, biologic is the largest animal which won't one-shot me is what I went for.
Honestly, though, I've never seen a camel move fast. That's the only reason why I'm considering a camel.
Yeah,
like, I know horses can go really quick. I know zebras can go quick. I've never seen in a movie a camel running. So I'm just like, I could probably punch a camel out.
You know when doctors do like the little test where they like kick your like they hit you in the knee and your foot comes up, bro. Camels and like horses and shit, they're so fast with that.
Yeah. As long as I don't get by their behind legs, though.
I mean, no, but Simi, at the same time, though, it's not even just that, because camels also spit, so if you do that and it spits in your face, you're not like stunned for a moment almost. Imagine in a video game, that just stuns you.
Yeah.
If he turns around, kicks you, you're out.
Right.
Even stuns. Hit you with a splash potion.
No, I'm going to stick with the New York rat. I could probably do that.
New York rat? All right.
Yeah.
I think everyone's was pretty reasonable, barring one. I don't know why Isaac was on about with the monkey. It's so stupid.
No, you think you're gonna be able to pick a monkey? Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I don't think people are that great at picking realistic things, considering the amount of kids that want to be YouTubers. So that's probably just a vibe.
Yeah. I mean, isn't kids trying to be YouTubers, but just basically essentially the new kids wanting to be footballers, though? So,
or more like celebrities, I guess. Like
exactly.
Movie stars, in it. Movie stars.
Yeah.
Did you see this thing on Twitter where this person was like, "How depressing! Our society has failed to provide ambition role models to our children." And it was in response to like this really shitty survey. First of all, we'll get into that. It was like this these statistics of top 10 jobs kids want, and like YouTuber had like 34%, and like Blogger was the next one. How do you guys feel about that sentiment of YouTubers and influencers not being ambitious role models to the kids?
I mean, like, the thing about it is that, like, with kids, they're always going to want to be what, like, they see, like, as popular at the time. So, again, like, before YouTubers, I think it was, like, celebrities, like, footballers. So I don't really see this as any sort of issue. As they grow up, they may find new things which they want to do. They may develop and go, actually, that's not for me. Some of them may try it out. Some of them may do it and find that they enjoy it. Some others may just not and find other things which they enjoy. I don't necessarily see that this is an issue.
I feel like the word they chose was their undoing, because I feel like maybe ambitious wasn't the word to go for. Maybe you could have said like, I don't know, good or respectable.
Yeah, or realistic.
But I feel like trying to become an influencer is pretty fucking ambitious. What's the stats on that? It's probably more likely you can become a doctor than a successful YouTuber, right? So on the numbers.
Honestly, I feel like what they were trying to more say is like the whole thing of, not being a quote unquote real job for children to strive for, and like that's just a sentiment which has always been carried by more adult figures when kids are going, oh yeah, I want to be this, I want to be that. So
Yeah. And it doesn't appear like a new thing, kind of like how Isaac described before. We haven't been around that long, but I would imagine that even back in the 70s, let's say, people wanted to be musicians, actors, sports stars, all these flashy jobs that they would see on television. They'd see people get in magazine spreads, just the career paths that seem flashy. There's a thing that was mentioned in the article, which is that a lot of these kids chose these because it gives them the opportunity to pioneer their own future. Like they're not just working for somebody. So it's like, it's not unreasonable that a person would see someone who's just doing whatever they want online, playing video games, making funny videos about it, and they're watching these videos at home and they're laughing and having a good time. And they're like, I want to do that too. It's completely natural. And this person that's posted this tweet saying, our society has failed to provide ambitious role models to our children. That's not at all the case. It's just about what the children want to watch. That those are who their role models will be. There are still people who do great work in other fields, like, politicians, doctors, but those aren't fun to watch. Those are quite boring, and a kid's going to want to watch someone who's making them laugh on YouTube.
Now, I was kind of wondering whether, guys, you felt it was actually just, obviously, the whole sentiment. I just was wondering whether or not you guys would consider that as an ambitious job, because I feel like it is very ambitious to strive for that. Because I feel like a lot of people have this perception that that career path is like really easy because it looks like that from the outset. But I feel like trying to make that a job is like highly ambitious, right?
I would say so.
When you actually start looking to the statistics, like I don't even know how many people try to be YouTubers who just failed because of how big and oversaturated the market it's become at this point. Like it's just, if you're starting up a YouTube channel, I feel like you should just be prepared to absolutely fail. Because that just seems like the way it is. Even if you're like pumping up the best content, like most things, like until you even get that one breakthrough, that might not even lead your channel to growing like a lot. Like until you do get that, it's basically like the whole thing of almost similar to being an actor, where being an actor you end up like doing a bunch of small roles over time, basically, and hoping at some point that you get an opportunity to do a big role and start, making a name for yourself, and even then it's not guaranteed success. But then once the ball does get rolling, it kind of doesn't really stop anymore. I feel like it's similar to that. So I would say it's
definitely. I imagine it more. I wouldn't say it doesn't stop. I imagine it stops at some point.
I do agree. It's like a lot of people don't liken it when they're just thinking of it. They think being a YouTuber, streamer, whatever you do on the internet, that's like, they think it's separate to the entertainment industry. And it is separate in the sense that you don't have the same barriers that exist in traditional industries like music and film, but it's still the entertainment industry, and there's still so many people who want to do it, who are talented enough to do it, but the amount of work and luck it takes to actually get the break you need to get your name out there in the first place. And then obviously, Simba commented on Isaac saying that the ball doesn't stop rolling. I mean, the ball stops rolling all the time. It's that you have to keep on getting a break. Yeah. Like one break isn't enough. You need to get another break and then another one. And so it requires this constant work. And for a lot of people who start out doing this, they might be really ambitious at the beginning because they're thinking, oh, wow, look, I can grow this thing. It'll be so good. And then maybe a few months, even a couple years down the line, it's not growing how they thought it would. And then they're like, oh, okay, I guess I should stop. It's not working out.
Yeah, I think the long game is just a general thing. I think a lot of people, even our age, I think patience is a bit of a problem. I think people think things should happen a lot quicker than they should. It's like everything is just about waiting. And just like you just got to get into a habit of like doing and waiting. And I think the hardest thing about it, especially like, because to me, I kind of like content creation is very akin to like being a freelancer in a sense, in which it's just, working and hoping that all the little projects and the things that you're doing are building up and paying off to people like caring about you, right? But it's like you may wait for 2 to 3 years. And I think a lot of people go into it maybe not actually loving the process of doing it. And then they get burnt out because they don't get the thing they're waiting for. Because like, if you want to be like, for instance, my thing, if you want to be like a freelance filmmaker or whatever, and you can't be bothered to just, sit down and edit a bunch of really boring corporate videos for like 2 to 3 years, don't do it. I think like that's one of the best advice I heard about like practicing or like getting good at something is like, whenever you're thinking of something that you might want to do as a career, think about the most boring process of that job, the most tiring, the most arduous and just boring ass process of that thing. Can you do that for long periods of time, for many years? If you can't, don't do it, because that's what you're going to be doing for a really long time.
I feel like, especially with what you said as well, Simba, just like there's like most people just fall in love with like the whole concept of making something. So they're like, oh yeah, it'd be really cool if I could make this thing, imagine it. But yeah, they don't actually enjoy the process of making it, and so during the process of making it, they just kind of fall out of love with it because it's just like, oh man, I'd love like to make this thing, or like it'd be so amazing, people would love it, but it's just so much work and so much effort to actually get to the point where I can make this thing, and like get to the point where this thing has grown to a significant point. And even if you do endure through all of that and you do make this wonderful thing which you're in love with and is amazing, there's no guarantee that people are actually gonna see it in the first place, especially with content creation on the current internet, just because of how oversaturated the market is. Like, you could like spend a lot of time like making a full-length feature film, put it on YouTube for free for everyone to see, and it just gets no views just because your channel's not known. The YouTube algorithm doesn't recommend it to people.
Yeah, people are often in love with the idea of something, and I think that's really dangerous, and especially with like things like filmmaking and like being an influencer, because when you're in love with the idea of doing something, you're not conceptualizing what the thing actually is. A lot of people are in love with the idea of being a YouTuber. Then you have a conversation with them. It's like, hey, do you like editing videos? It's like, nah, I hate editing videos. It's like, okay, then don't do that. And I think being in love with something and not conceptualizing the work that might go into it sets you up for failure, because you may think you really want to be a YouTuber, but you don't actually. You like the idea of it, but you don't actually want to do the job. And setting yourself up to believe that you want this job when you don't actually want to do it, I think can set you up for failure, and I think it can really can lead to like some mental turmoil, because you'll think that you're failing at something that you don't actually want to do. It's something that you like the idea of doing. So I think that can be often very dangerous.
Yeah. I think it's worth noting as well that this whole I'm looking at this freaking top 10 jobs kids one. It's such a messed up like thing. Not all the figures have percentages next to them. Like it says filmmaker 13.65. 65 what? Okay, fine, whatever. And then it says athlete/teacher, which I consider very different jobs. I don't know why they lumped those together. So, this data is suspect.
Simi,
but
also
for
they
me,
misspelled doctor, which just kind of
they
hurts me.
Oh, okay. What I will say is, these are kids, right? Like, kids, bro, full-blown adults don't even know what they want to do. Me, I don't even know what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's
real.
like, you're asking kids, what do you want? It's hard to know what you want if you haven't had experience, right?
Yeah.
So they're just taking the things which look most attractive to them.
One thing that Simi said there that I wanted to kind of hit on was you were saying that you don't even know what you want to do. And I don't know whether or not you agree with this statement, but I feel like a lot of people feel like they should know what they want to do. But I feel like, people kind of get tied down to that idea and then get really distraught when they're like, oh my God, I don't know what I want to do. It's like, dog, people in their 40s don't know what they want to do with their lives. So don't feel bad about that.
Like for me, I've gone to uni for 4 years to study engineering. I'm about to graduate now. I'm like trying to diversify what I do as much as possible. So then if I find that there's one thing which I don't enjoy, or if I decide, hey, this whole engineering thing, if I studied it for 4 years and now I'm in debt because of it, not really the best thing, not so Gucci gang, then I can just go and do something else. I feel like the current market is just about diversifying skills and finding what you do and don't enjoy, and trying to always keep an open market, because even if you do find something which you enjoy, there's no guarantee that you'll enjoy it forever. And so I feel like it's always and so I feel like it's always about keeping enough skills so you can try at other things and just continuously try to find something which you enjoy, not like just this is it for life now.
Yeah, I think the last thing I'll say on the whole like figuring out what you want to do, I think for me the biggest thing I've learned is I find way more value in finding out the things I don't like doing. once I've gone through a path and I'm like, yeah, I really hate doing that, I can just walk through life knowing that I don't, like, I won't look at people doing that with envy or be like, oh, do I love doing that? I can just leave it. And it's like, I can move forward. And that's always been like, now going forward has been like the most useful thing is finding out the things that I don't like doing. Yeah. That's all I have to say on that. Kind of what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a point where it's like I felt like I needed to know, or it seemed like everyone around me knew what they wanted to do, and I felt like that. It was me. I needed to know what I wanted to do, and I don't know. I feel like I've kind of started to fall away from this idea because I don't want to just spend all my time trying to chase and think about what it is that I want to do and spend my time not doing things. Which is now why I'm more of the sort of try things out, but like don't necessarily get overly attached to things, basically, as far as career and job wise goes. Also, with the just coming back on an idea that was mentioned before, with the whole like not really wanting to work for like someone else and stuff like that. A lot of kind of like my hobbies and stuff like that have like some kind of freelance or kind of working for myself sort of potential. So like it's more become my the way that I want to kind of do things is just kind of put up with any kind of job as long as it kind of allows me to focus on trying those things, which could then potentially turn into a career later on if I decide that I want to take it that way.
Yeah, no, I think that's always like a good strat. It's just to always like.
And who knows? I mean, I could change my mind on that, obviously.
Yeah, man.
But
Connor
right now, that's
create the new Silicon Valley startup tomorrow.
I could definitely.
Is it even really Silicon Valley anymore? Like, they're running out of silicon, so isn't it just Valley at this point?
It's just Valley. What's going to be your Valley startup?
What's going to be my Valley startup? Kind of feeling like a farm, you know?
Oh my god.
Farm.
It's an emerging market, farming.
Yeah.
Get on it quick.
Yeah. No one else has done it. You know, this
Exactly.
it's open.
Exactly.
I need to go
The path
in.
less trodden.
Like, oh,
That's
yes,
so
when you
true.
grow in sand. just so much sand.
You're going to have a sand farm.
I am.
You're going to make that into glass and then you sell that to companies or just sand.
Precisely.
Oh,
Now you
okay.
understand. I think you're really going to be amazed by the work that I'm doing in the over the next 10 years.
It sounds amazing, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
On an unrelated note, you're undisowned. It's got nothing.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
What coincidence in timing.
I just realized. I was thinking about. I was like, wow, this guy really could take on a T-Rex, and I was like, welcome back to the family.
I'm glad that you think that. I really am. I'm gonna have that inscribed on your grave.
Yeah, but if his family disagrees, or like if his next of kin disagrees, isn't that just graffiti? Like, aren't you just like then vandalizing his tomb?
It's fine. It's beloved graffiti.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm sorry for being so closed-minded earlier, Connor. I should have really opened my eyes and realized that if you with your sand farm, you just make a giant glass sword, stab it.
Well, imagine like thousands of tiny swords fall off in the dinosaur's leg.
Yeah, no, but Connor, that's the thing. That'll be one hit, and it will hurt as heck, and it will like do some damage. But I don't think that's one-shotting a T-Rex. So
I don't know. I feel
more
like
than one hit.
a giant glass sword could probably do it. What's that that sword from that anime? You know, the giant one with the
The Final Fantasy
You
sword?
talking about Final
yeah,
Fantasy?
that
Or
thing,
the Buster
whatever
sword.
that thing is. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
That's not anime, that's a game.
I assumed that was anime.
It's
and then
game
was
anime,
Well,
bro.
they have an anime. There is a Final
yeah.
Fantasy 15 anime, so he's
Yeah,
technically
but not
not wrong.
7, but there's not a Final Fantasy 7 anime, though, is there?
Well, in Final Fantasy 15, they have the Buster sword, so
Okay.
Boom.
Okay, guess it.
we're back.
I knew that.
Damn, I guess Connor's just more weeb than me. Damn, we've proven it here. Connor's the most weeb member of the podcast.
Unfortunately, your kids aren't doing too well. 2 out of 3 are weebs.
I think my dad's score is going down.
Yeah, definitely is.
It's like we're about 2.4 now. It's going pretty low.
2.4. Jesus, I was on the
You've
average of like
lost quite
5.
Yeah.
As long as all three of us are alive, though, you can't drop below or 2. So
That's
like
true.
a baseline.
Exactly.
Is that
There's
true?
a minimum.
What if they are dead to me though? What does that mean?
That's like a 1.9 at that point. Like,
Okay.
just barely below a 2, but still.
All right, come on, Simba. You got to be my saving grace. You're not watching anime, are you?
Wait, does watching our DC World count as watching anime?
That's what's like watching anime adjacent. That's like anime adjacent.
Anime
Right.
adjacent.
Yeah.
It's like a gateway drug.
I'm anime adjacent, yeah. I'm a janime.
Did you guys hear that? Someone might be buying Discord. Fuck me.
I've heard it. Quite a commotion about it, I believe. In the
Why is everyone getting so
community.
uppity about that? What do they think is going to happen? Do they think someone's going to buy
Does this
Discord and
get-
just
well,
close the
because
servers?
break things?
Yeah, because Simba, Microsoft have produced Skype and Teams. To anyone who uses Discord, Microsoft seems like the devil. So
Didn't they
Wow.
also take a very good calendar app and turn it into like ass, basically?
Oh yeah,
Um,
they did do that.
So
I think they also took a really good like to do app.
Yeah,
and then they also
note-taking.
killed it and made
Uh-huh.
it, and then they also killed that and turned it. Okay, well, boys,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
might be on
so
Microsoft.
there's a pattern emerging,
we
you
might be
see.
recording the podcast on Microsoft Teams next time we're here.
no, Zoom.
people are a bit terrified of that.
Oh shit, yo, boys, you want to jump in the Microsoft Teams and play some Apex?
See, I hope they don't take it, but if I were Discord, I'd take it.
I hope
Like
they
10
don't, but I
millions.
hope that Discord gets like clout from this whole thing. Like people are like, wait a minute, why was Microsoft about to purchase this? And they're like, oh shit, it's actually a very good service. It's not just for gamers.
Also, to be fair, if Microsoft were to acquire it, I feel like it would just be a lot better for actual platform's general image. Just because the average user sees, oh, this is Microsoft thing. Oh yeah, this is for everyone. Whereas you see Discord with its like logo.
It won't be called Discord anymore. We'll be on Microsoft Teams. You guys don't know Microsoft.
It would be interesting to see a world in which Discord is like kind of like a paired app with Game Pass and the Xbox Store and all the rest of it on PC.
Oh wow, that could
would
be
be
really good for
really cool.
Xbox. Yeah.
You know, that would be
Very-
interesting. That would make Nitro actually worth something.
Yeah, it would. Yes, it would. it
Would it still? Would it even?
Yeah, I mean, Nitro used to actually offer something when it had the games, but then they removed that.
They
So
did
now I
used to have
really
that, didn't
don't
they?
know. I don't know what Nitro is for. I get Nitro because my server's partnered with Discord, so I get Nitro,
Not
and I'm
for
just
long.
like, what is this, bruh? No, don't send this. Don't send this to Discord. They won't know. But yeah.
bleep, 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 bleep.
Yo, Simi doesn't know his audience, does he?
know
Simi's
all
about
of
to get rat out.
Someone's gonna
But
get.
I agree with Simi here. Like, it's like got a few features which are like kind of useful. Like, you can use like custom emojis on different servers, and then apart from that, I don't actually know what else it gets you.
20 megabyte memes.
I don't.
Oh
bruh, I
wow,
don't-
lovely. High bandwidth memes.
High bandwidth memes.
Nah, bro. Memes are meant to be fried. Who cares? High bandwidth memes,
Fried.
dude.
True, he's right. It's true.
The compression of it is on Discord sometimes, though people can get a bit wild with what they send anyway, without the higher files. So I don't know.
Like, I guess there's also the thing of like being able to support servers when you're being and then getting higher streaming on them, but like.
Yeah, basically, for the average user, there's not really much to
Yeah.
be gained out of having Discord Nitro right now. But there
You know what I
could
just
be, maybe.
realized? If Microsoft buys Discord, I think they're trying to monopolize gaming, guys.
Yeah, I was about to say, it does sound like they are trying to basically
They're
monopolize
trying to
gaming.
own gaming.
Microsoft
Yeah.
buys gaming.
This is
Yeah.
why I said, bro, and everyone was comparing the Xbox One XB fucking gamer, whatever the hell it's called.
No,
the
that's
new
it. You got it
thing.
right.
Yeah,
One.
yeah, whatever it's called to the PS5. I was like, I don't think Microsoft is playing that game anymore.
Not at all.
Yeah, it's like they own ZeniMax now, so they own like a shit ton of massive games. And now if they buy Discord, I think Microsoft's trying to own gaming.
For me, the whole idea of just so few companies owning so much is like, that I feel like that's a problem a lot of people have with it. It's like, Discord is this independent thing,
Yeah.
and that's what people like about it.
Mhm.
And so once it becomes a Microsoft thing, then it's like, oh, okay, it's not. It's now
Yeah.
Microsoft.
Yeah, I can kind
So-
of get that actually. Even if Microsoft, are kind of loose with their control over it. It's still like, well, now it's owned by Microsoft. It's now a big corporation thing rather than thinking it's a, little thing for people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, Discord came out as it was literally, it replaced like the shitty Microsoft version of itself. Like it literally just it came out as a
TeamSpeak RIP.
indie sort of product, I guess, right? But now they're trying to take it, like they're trying to get their market share back. Basically, is what it kind of sounds like. Obviously,
Yeah, definitely.
Which I imagine people, gamers, are not too happy about anyway.
Yeah, I feel like if the FTA actually cares about doing their job, they shouldn't allow this to happen because Microsoft Teams is like already like massive. So it's like if they own Microsoft Teams and Discord, bro, that's pretty much a monopoly. But
they
I don't
don't
think
really
the FTA
work
care.
when it comes to any tech within the last 10 years. So I don't think we'll get on that.
You know what I love about the FTA? I always love paying attention to the mergers they block. The FTA, it seems like they wait until there's two companies that have monopolized the entire market, and then when those two companies try and merge, they're like, "Oh, guys, don't do that."
Yeah, it's literally that because I remember the most recent, for me, one of the most recent things which I saw them, at least from UK, saw them stop was when Virgin Trains was basically crashing their prices on purpose to take out all other competition which had the same routes as them. And they were like, okay, you can't quite do that. You can't have your first class tickets, which are faster than theirs, be cheaper, by a large margin. So don't do that. But for everything else, they're like, yeah, no, that's cool. That's fine. Do whatever, yeah.
As with a lot of these companies, when it's not like a physical thing as well, it does become very, I don't know. It seems like there's almost like a lack of care when it comes to the companies and what they're doing. It's like when it's something like, I don't know, when it's like obviously with trains and stuff like that, they're a physical thing out in the real world and whatever. But if it comes to something like the entertainment industry and stuff, I just feel like it gets overlooked a lot more.
No, they just don't get it. I don't think they understand it as much. You can understand trains a lot easier, right?
Yeah, but it's their job to understand it, man.
What
they need to understand it to know if the companies just go ahead with it and they don't realize it until it's too late. They can't stop them. Especially in America as well.
But the thing you're forgetting is that we're 20-something and we're already starting to get, if not already, out of touch with some of the latest media and tech things. And so think about it, to actually get to the point where you're making these decisions in the FTA, you're probably 40-something to be at that point. You don't know you barely know what Facebook is. How are you gonna know about Discord and Teams? So it's it's very.
So I can ask what is the FTA? What does that stand for?
Federal Trades Commission, sorry, FTC. I think also with stuff like information technology and entertainment, the only other issue I could possibly see with it is especially if you're as the kids call a boomer, which I don't even know why I'm saying that. I've been called a boomer, but if that is where you stand, I think it's a little bit harder to understand. It's like, oh, okay, there's lots of TV shows. Just watch a different TV show. Why does it matter if Disney owns all these companies? It's like it's kind of harder to wrap your head around what's wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, just watch a different TV show. It's like, yeah, but you can't just make another, you can't just make your own Avengers, all right? Can't have Avengers by Dave. So it's like,
Avengers, Infinite Tussle.
Dave's Avengers.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to understand why, we can only have this one train line here or this or that. You can't make another one of these. I think it's a little bit more difficult for them to wrap your head around why you can't do that. Why it's also bad to do the same thing with media stuff. But I've accepted. I'm powerless. The billionaires will figure out what they want to do. I'm
Basically,
sure.
Yeah,
and we will suffer the consequences.
Exactly.
Well, we won't. We'll all be dead. But it's fine.
Well, I don't think we'll be dead by the time Discord becomes Microsoft Teams.
I live quite a destructive life. I did just a minute ago say I was going to stab a T-Rex with a glass sword, so we'll see where I end up.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see. Maybe next time we'll be recording this bad boy in Microsoft Teams, which will be sick. I'm excited. Don't want to use up any more of Discord's bandwidth. Exactly, before they're with Microsoft. Unless they're with Microsoft now, so if they are with Microsoft, I'm going to start 10 different servers and I'm going to connect all my computers to it so that I can use up all the bandwidth and slowly destroy Microsoft one server at a time. We'll see how well that works.
He's not the supervillain that we want, but he's the supervillain that we need, damn it.
I don't think I'm a
Most of us-
villain.
Hey man, most villains don't.
True. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. We had a good time. We had a fun time. Found out Connor's true power.
Yes,
which
of
is
course,
very
my power
interesting.
levels.
His power levels.
power
We'll
levels.
never challenge him to a fight again. So that's good. Guys, do you have any closing words?
I do, actually.
Okay.
I appreciate that we do this podcast together, and I hope we do it for a long time. And the reason I want us to do it for a long time is that I would love to look back on this when we're like 30 or 40
Uh-huh.
and look back and see, where we were at. Especially what sparked this thought was a conversation about careers and not knowing where we're going. So it would, even if this podcast never takes off, which I believe it will, but even if it never does, it would still be a nice thing to have as a time capsule for us. So I
agree.
appreciate you guys. I appreciate you meeting up every couple of weeks to talk this stuff out.
Sure.
And thank you to everyone who listens.
Oh, Simi, that was so sweet. I was just gonna say that Simba's a shit dad. I wanted to go and live with my mum.
Don't worry, I'll bring
appreciate
it back.
you
I
too, Isaac.
agree with Simi. I was gonna say, as you were saying that, a time capsule of the podcast. That's what they are basically. I like them.
Well, I guess if you want to check out more of our stuff, if you're listening on the audio platforms, you can check us out youtube.com/unverified. We're there doing what we do, podcasting and other things. And if you're on audio platforms, specifically Apple Podcasts, you got to leave us a review. Michelle Obama, she's not talking about which T-Rexes she could defeat and how she could defeat them, but we
She's
are.
not.
Are you
I
sure,
assume
Simba?
she's
Are you
not.
sure?
They could be
I don't-
something
maybe
else.
she
The
is.
latest episode of the
That's
podcast.
true. I've never
She
listened to the
might be.
podcast. No, I haven't.
So why are
That's
you
true.
talking? Why
If she
why
is,
It's an unsubstantiated claim.
that's so true. Okay, if Michelle Obama is talking about the T-Rexes she could fight, give her a 5-star instead of us. If you want to catch us,
We are all deciding to stream to our individual Twitch channels instead of the group Unverified channel. That's becoming a hub to host our channels whenever we're streaming. So check out twitch.tv/unverifshow. If you look at the About page, you'll find all our streams there. And make sure to follow each of us.
If you're going to follow me on Twitch, follow Connor instead.
If you're gonna follow me, follow Simba instead. We'll keep him in a loop.
They'll just never know what to do. All right, now goodbye.
Bye.